Your boobs are excellent, if I do say so myself.
They are phenomenal. And
Oh,
don't you dare... No, you take that picture off before you go live, sir.
What? We have
No,
all
keep
been
it on.
admiring.
Hey, everybody.
We just admired your boobs, British Ninja. But nevertheless, hello and welcome everybody to the AWKWARDCast. ANY and Critish Cringer. Critish Ninja.
What's the bestest boy?
Wonder about random dribble.
Yes.
So yeah, welcome back to the show, British Ninja and Comet. Due to the fact that Keyframe thought she had better things to do, like going to the theater and watching a musical.
What an aristocrat.
A nice entertainment. Aristocrat, says the Englishman.
Yeah.
I bet she eats proper people food and everything with forks.
So yeah, basically today the goal of this podcast is to a challenge for this is an amazing idea. I just came up with it. Oh, the show gets revolutionized at the moment Keyframe.
Oh Jesus, here we go. We were here first.
A chat challenge we put out in the beginning of the show for the chat to go nuts with throughout the show. Namely, to come up with jokes that start with a German, a British person, and an Irishman walk into a bar.
Yes, please.
I'm liking it.
I'm liking it too. Obviously, same goes for YouTube people in the comments down below. Nevertheless, even though you both have been on the show before, do you give a short introduction who you actually are?
Well, the person who's next to me is a cunt.
Come on.
Who they are. Oh God, what happened to Skype? Well,
yeah, there's two of you.
Skype is killing.
Pat my head. Oh, never mind.
Skype hates me today. I don't know why. Apparently they did an update which when somebody is quiet, they disappear. Okay,
my name is British Ninja. It is. I make some of the... I used to make YouTube videos. Still kind of around in the Brony fandom. I am a games designer at university, studying all that jazz.
Sake.
I am patting my own head. Yeah, it does work. It works. Wait, hang on. So it would be...
So nice.
This is not even funny anymore at this
And
point.
reaches up and grabs it.
It'd be like that? Ah,
Yeah,
damn
there
it.
you go, that's fine.
I'll try it next time. But yes.
Wait until I shut up again, then you can do it.
Yes, I'm studying games design at university. I used to be kind of cool in the Brony fandom. I still kind of am. I just don't make videos anymore. It's busy life, busy times.
Sounds like me. So Emerald, is your self-description different in any way or form?
No, not at all. Not in the slightest. Absolutely not.
He's just more productive than us.
Well, I mean, like, that's debatable, but there you go. Yeah, I'm Emerald. I do, like, fan fiction reviews for the Brony fandom. I try and, like, tie a storyline to all my videos, a bit like Top the Fourth Wall. It's kind of like that. I'm doing film and television production in college at the moment. And, yes, also haven't been able to upload anything, like, kind of recently because, you know, again, busy life, doing things, being a busy adult with many busy things.
I just wanted to ask, so the all-encompassing question, are you still active as a YouTuber? And the answer is... like you know, mid-range. I'm not done yet. I still have a tale to tell. So yeah, let's say yes for the sake of argument. But yeah, nevertheless, what have you guys been up to?
Are we going around in the circle?
We're gonna go like.
Okay. You know what? Yeah. You know, I feel like considering he had so much time to prepare. During the pre-show, I think Emerald should go first.
Oh, great! Yeah, the 20 minutes that I wasn't here. Well, I have been absolutely exhausted the last 2 days. Thank you very much, my friend.
Also, fun fact, Emerald, you are literally a talking head right now.
I am a talking head.
Yeah,
right now.
the cameras did not work.
That's what he's like in real life as well. He is that small.
Yes, I am actually just very short. We're all actually leprechauns in Ireland. That just camera so down. They're all very short. No, yeah, I've been tired the last 2 days. I was working with a girl who was in her third year at the college that I'm at on a film set, and I was doing that yesterday, and the day before that.
Oh boy, this kind of college, I get it. You worked with a girl on a film set. On a film set. I was the assistant director for 2 days. So it was my job to be the living embodiment of stress itself and be tapping my watch next to everybody like, you know, you really need to fucking hurry up. Like, we don't have very much time left. So, yeah, that was the extent of that. Got the most of the film shot. We need 2 more things to do in, like, an actual recording studio. And that was the long and short of my week. Just went to, I don't know, like went to the film, saw a couple films over than that.
and maybe I'll talk about one of them later on in the media section of the show.
Boy.
And
Boy.
yeah, that was about it. I'm a simple man. What more do you want?
Fair enough. British.
Well, I just kind of fall down. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking. I was on both screens for a second, so I felt
when ANY fixes it, my camera just kind of falls down into place. I love it.
You like, shrink. It's just like everybody in British Ninja. No. Wait.
It's pretty great.
Oh god, it kills me.
While you were being so productive during your time at university, I was doing like any good university student does. I was going out and getting drunk.
Exactly.
I went out. I am of course a gymnast. I went out with the gymnastics society, played a bunch of games. Went down to town, shot some shit. I refound my love for Jaeger bombs. So much, in fact, that after buying Jaeger bombs, I bought myself a bottle of Jägermeister so I could make my own. I am very lonely. Anyway.
Who needs friends when you got us?
But yeah, that was great fun. I'm not exactly the social type, so any opportunity I take to go down on the town, have a blast with some friends, always a good time. Now, it's funny, when getting drunk with a bunch of gymnasts and you know the physical ability of your friends, it's fun to tease and fun to push them. So we played a drinking game. We played a drinking game where you draw a circle around your hand on this large piece of paper, and then you flip a coin, and wherever the coin lands, whatever is written inside that circle, you have to do. So we played this game for a couple of rounds, and eventually it got to the point where someone wrote, "must do a backflip." And this is inside a house, by the way. This isn't a grandiose house of like magnitude proportion. This is a very tiny university house, so I didn't do it, fortunately. Someone else landed in the circle, but I still got to watch and laugh. So here we are in this... it's like 1 o'clock in the morning at this point in this dude's house, just watching him, and he does the backflip. And he would have landed it if he didn't catch his leg on the stairwell.
Oh.
So he, got his leg on the stairwell and then fell over to the side. It was like, oh...
Oh, Lord.
Any lasting injuries?
He was okay. No, okay. He was okay. He was fine. He is just confirmed, diagnosed, unfortunately, as an idiot for what he is.
Unfortunately. There's no cure for that.
There's no cure for that, no. But what else did I do? I got something awesome in the mail, I guess. I don't know if this falls into media, because it's kind of a bit of both.
It depends. If you want to present it as a medium, then yes. But if not, then please, go ahead.
This is just a mix of both, I guess. This is my new best friend. To the normal peasant, it may just look like an ordinary beanie.
Yes.
However, this is also a Bluetooth speaker. So I can listen to my amazing podcasts, such as the AWKWARDCast, available on YouTube only. And all I have to do is just hold down this button if I hold up to the mic. Oh, it seems to be out of power because I forgot to charge it because I'm smart.
Oh, you're
anyway,
an idiot.
It leads to the fun and interesting conversation of saying, "Hey, can I charge my hat, please?" Yeah.
Have you had to yet? Just like in class?
I've had to,
Sir,
yes.
Can I charge my hat, please?
Yeah, sir. Can I? I'm just charging my hat. It was another funny moment where we were in an important meeting, and just for style reasons and because it's cold down in Falmouth, I have my hat on, and it was running low on power. So we were having a serious meeting about the production of our game with one of the lecturers, and it's just okay. So I should mention you only have a few weeks left to complete this project, and then loudly my speaker goes, "Power off," and it's just because it talks to you. It's like it's not as advanced as Siri. But it does talk to you when you're running out of power, when you've lost your internet connection, and it's super useful for stuff like that. And what's funny is that it also has a microphone in it. So I can just talk to people without having a cable or anything. So it looks like I'm going insane. I'm just talking into a hat.
Well, we already knew that, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm just talking into a hat. But, I mean, I know the wiser. I conceal my power level that way. But yeah, TF2 has affected me so much. I've now collected special kinds of hats. So
oh boy,
that was my week, I guess.
It suddenly becomes reality in a scary way. Actually, even on my end, stuff happens this week. I can't believe it myself.
Shit!
Yeah,
prepare yourself, chat.
Absolutely.
Prepare yourself.
Like, here's the funny thing: I was carrying a constant sleep deprivity with me throughout the entire week because stuff kept happening each day.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, it started with Monday where I needed to get rid of a certain flatmate or house guest or whatever you want to call her.
That was that.
Wait, of course.
Yes, Keyframe. She was here.
For a second there, my brain completely forgot you had Keyframe in your house.
You fool!
She was on the show. She was on Gaming in Ties. But yeah, so I had, because, on the one hand, I should be thankful that he booked a flight before work, so I don't miss work. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, this means, like, getting up really, really early, driving to the airport on the other end of the city, then be like, here, plane, go home.
Be gone.
Go home.
Fuck.
Indeed. And then going to work. So, okay, this made this night short. Monday, obviously, after editing and uploading last week's AWKWARDCast, I needed to catch up on all my daily quests and HOTS, because during the weekend... Oh,
yes, that is the most important.
During the weekend, I had the house guest, and I believe one of the quests, of course, was win 8 or play 8 games, so this takes a while. So, Monday, I didn't really catch up on sleep. Tuesday... What kept me up Tuesday? I mean, first there was Gaming in Ties, and after that I believe I just was an idiot who just did not go to bed when he should have.
Tuesday wasn't golf, was it? I've lost track of days. Yeah, Tuesday wasn't like...
Tuesday. So, Wednesday I had a buddy over, which is a very funny thing. So I have this friend from school days, a schoolmate, classmate. So, given that I'm very, very old, this means like really long or really old friendship, like
back in the old days of 1974.
No, I mean we are actually talking like 15 years. So.
Oh shit!
Aww.
That's longer than I've been. That's almost as long as I've been alive.
Emerald, if we're still friends after like 15 years, cool beans, man. We did a good job.
Yeah, we did good. We did good.
Ooh, guys, the looking at each other is
deciding it's okay with you.
Shut up.
This worked far too well. How you talk to each other.
Yeah, I've gotten used to it now. Like there's Emerald and there's ANY.
Your boy.
Indeed. Shut up, you and you, young man. Anyways, and ever since I moved to Berlin, it's super funny. We have this cultural high festival, the Berlinale, where all the fancy film folks come to Berlin and block all our cinemas, which means we needed to go to some random cinema to actually see Black Panther last week in English. Because, the usual cinema was blocked with this culture and sophisticated people.
Disgusting culture.
I wanted to see my Marvel movie, okay? My Marvel yearly trash. I don't want to see some fancy art films. Seriously. But yeah.
You're gonna hate when I have to talk about it in the media section. I'm gonna piss you off.
You just insulted his entire art form.
I have the feeling I just did.
Art!
So maybe Emerald, in a few years you will, like Uli, my buddy, will visit Berlin every year once for the Berlinale, and then can come over one evening, because ever since I moved to Berlin 4 years ago, he came here every year and visited me one evening, and we just caught up on everything.
That would be amazing, and I would be that guy who would drag you to the cultural film festival.
No.
We're going to see it.
No.
I don't want to go see it. Lady Bird, it's so good.
Uli doesn't get to drag me to the Berlinale. He works there, and he actually comes to my place afterwards, and we just chill for an evening. However, this year was particularly awkward because he watches this show. So I literally had nothing to catch up on him. He was informed about everything because he watches this show. And I was like, hey!
Oh, God.
Hey, Uli, this thing I wanted to tell you. Yeah, I know, I watched the show. Okay. But I have this fun anecdote. Yeah, you talked about this in the show. This is the first time ever that I regret people watching my content, because I lose... It was a yearly tradition for him to come here and we talk about what happened over the year. And this time he knew, majority of the stuff. Eventually I had to go to the more juicy topics I don't discuss on the podcast. So,
where they hide their wiener schnitzels?
Oh, damn.
Absolutely. This is what all Germans talk about constantly in private. Nevertheless,
it's Wiener Schnitzel. Thank you very much.
Should I
helpful?
Should I now point out that Wien, aka Vienna, is actually in Austria, not in Germany? Anyways, so he left some time after midnight. So there goes my Wednesday. Thursday, very important. I couldn't go to bed early because somebody on Twitter on the internet was wrong, and I needed to discuss with them.
Yes.
Yes.
Was that in my Twitter feed?
Yes. Eventually.
Yes, because
oh wait, what?
Yeah, turns out you didn't get much sleep, and I didn't get much sleep either because everyone left @British Ninja in the responses. So every single time you sent a message over, it's like, oh, you have a notification. Shut the fuck up! It's like 4 in the morning.
So
Jesus Christ.
But that's the reason why I eventually removed you and actually, who was the other guy? Durgan.
I didn't read him. I was like, oh, it's more of that conversation.
Sleep deprived. It's like, fuck off, no.
So eventually I did not answer anymore to you and Durgan, so that the discussion became more private, and we even continued and moved it to PM. So me and basically somebody who seems to have drunken NIA knowledge with the mother milk came into a discussion if more guns are a good way, or if guns are to blame for people dying by gunfire. This discussion is still ongoing ever since we moved to PMs, and we are not limited by 280 characters. It's exploding a little bit. But where I'm actually very thankful for, we are more or less civilized in our discussion, which is impressive enough on the internet, just want to say, especially when it is so heated. I mean, I have the feeling I slipped every now and then into a slightly condescending mode that I often do, sadly. But he is also a little bit like high-horsing me, so I guess we are on equal terms. And where I'm actually thankful for, because I want to do That Stupid on Americans and their guns, he's actually providing me with the other side. So this is an important thing about That Stupid, that I actually look at both sides and can give a proper opinion and not just my side. So I'm actually quite thankful for this debate.
That's a good way to do it, actually, yeah. It's a great way to do it.
So yeah, I'm actually kind of thankful that he is there and having this discussion, but it meant less sleep Thursday night. I'm not sure Friday. Did I actually go to bed Friday? And don't look at me like this.
Like you haven't slept for like the last 7 days?
How way I like.
I mean, the scary thing is, especially with our beards, our similarities are so in our face, British. But once again, look at your full and energetic hair.
Yeah, no. Do you miss this? Do you miss these?
Look at your future British. This is your future British. All of this. Yes. Look at the sinning part. This is you, British.
Oh God! If only you rescinded your opinions like your hairline.
You could be bald and thinning together. It'd be so sweet.
Is this how you talk to your future self?
I don't know.
Anyways, should we move on to media? Because we also got a bunch of interesting questions for later.
Sure, if you want.
Who wants to go first? Emerald already teased about his, so...
Oh yeah, I teased you about this.
But also earlier you were like, oh, you trash talk fancy artsy shit, movie shit, so let me fancy artsy movie you up, boy.
Yeah. Do you want me to go first? I don't mind going first.
Sure. This way I can hide and leave space for British making funny faces while you talk.
All my choices for like whatever artistic thing I've got. Yeah, so I saw this movie in January. The Oscars are coming up.
There, you're cutting out. You're cutting out. Don't talk
more, so I really don't care.
It's my power.
Yeah, Emerald,
I'm able to lag his internet from here. That is the true oppression of the British people over the Irish.
I guess so. I mean, Emerald, I have the feeling that if you talk too energetic, the Irish internet is like, oh no, I can't do an Irish accent.
Is that your impression of me?
Oh no!
Oh my God! Oh! You're talking too energetic. Oh! But yeah, Try again.
Yeah.
No wild movement. Sit very still. Then there is less bitrate to transfer.
All right. Yeah. You're asking me to sit still.
Yes.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Anyway, yeah. I'm gonna talk about 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, because it's my favorite movie of the year. It should win Best Picture at the Oscars, and if Martin McDonagh does not get the Oscar for it, I'm going to buy a first-class ticket to Hollywood, have a lovely meal, thank the waitress very kindly for serving me, and then flip every table in the entire area.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So yeah, this is my pick for the best movie of the year. It's one that stuck with me for a long time because I think it has like an excellent grasp on character. It's got an excellent way of pacing its story. The message that it presents inside of inside the story is very well framed and very well very well conveyed. And it's just a really interesting story. It goes to some like fairly dark places. So like just warning really quick before I start getting into talking about it. It's basically about a mother whose daughter is raped and murdered, and the police have done nothing about actually.
Charming.
Lovely.
Yeah, charming story. So the police have done nothing about actually solving the murder or finding the guy who did it. So she rents the use of 3 billboards outside of the town where she lives and basically puts up a message asking the police station, why haven't you done anything about this? And the story kind of progresses from there, showing the kind of the side of the police, what they've been trying to do, and also herself. So at its core, what I find a lot about the movie, first of all, the director himself is Irish, so that's kind of a reason why I chose it, because I'm a filthy, guy who likes to talk about the people of my own country, but also because from interviews he's gone on about how the point of the film is showing how while someone's intentions may be good, there are things that can cut them short, or how say, that. Just because, like one person who's on one side and they're trying to do the right thing, but their actions might not reflect the thing that they're trying to do. Like, for example, the main cop in the film genuinely wants to do the right thing and find the killer, but there are a bunch of real life scenarios that end up cutting him short. The mother in the film, I think, is probably one of the most badass characters I've ever seen in my entire life. But
I assume Frances McDormand.
Frances McDermott, yeah. That's her name. Yeah, she's the girl who was in Fargo, the cop in Fargo. Yeah, great actress. But
I'm looking down at the chat and I see
a lurker.
Oh, she's lurking.
She's lurking. So many people try and get on this podcast, man. Jeez.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
No, we haven't burned down the podcast. We've just been going through horrible technical situations.
He's moving too quickly and causing the bit rate to go up. He's probably going to burn down the podcast in the end because his people burn everything down. I
can't deny it, but at least we do it with style. But
right. Remember.
Here. They'll learn to love it.
Remember. 25th of February.
It's a bit of work, but you'll get there.
Yeah, it doesn't really work. But yeah, I'm a fairly big character guy when it comes to film and books and stuff like that. And what I think is great about 3 Billboards is that it shows a natural progression for everybody's characters. Sam Rockwell, who's one of the actors in it, he plays like this really real dickhead cop. But it's amazing how at the start you perceive him as one thing, and the way that he's written and the way that his character progresses, you actually do feel in a way kind of sorry for him by the end, and you understand like the progression of everybody's character. You may not like them by the end, but there's a very clear sense of their own personalities and how their personality changes based on the events that happen to them and the people that they're around. So yeah, other than that, cinematography is really nice. It's really funny. If you're not really very into sort of people yelling like fuck, shit, and piss all the time, you're probably not going to like it because it's very, very crass.
Okay.
Alley.
Okay.
Yeah. And really over than that's about the long and short that I can really say about it. It's a great movie. I think everybody should see it, and it's my pick for movie of the year. So that's about me.
Fair enough. I never even heard about it up to this day.
Yes, but you only ever go see all those Marvel movies.
I know.
So that's a good point. You've actively avoided it, A&Y.
I'm a cultural swine. But no, here's the thing. I actually look at the current movie schedule of the cinema because I try to go to the movie every week, to the cinema, and I haven't seen this one pop up yet.
Really?
I mean, it is possible that I'm so completely ignorant that I didn't even see that my eyes glanced over it because it didn't have explosions on the cover, but I usually notice at least what is running. But yeah, British Ninja, would you do me the honor and give me a final hint what you actually want to talk about? Because you refused so far.
What do you mean refused? Okay, so I have a few medias that I want to plug a lot of.
Okay.
The first one is very close to home for me. I was browsing through Steam, I'm a games designer, I check out a lot of games and stuff. I was looking through Steam and the up-and-coming list on Steam, and something caught my eye. And I was like, hang on a minute, I could have swore I've seen that before. And it was a game that I'll post in the chat now that is on Steam for everyone to buy, called Karate Crab.
Okay.
And I thought that I recognized this game because when I went into my university the next day, I saw the developers finishing it.
Hey, boy!
Yeah, like these guys who have made this game that is now on Steam making money for themselves came from my university. And I thought that was great. My university always talks of a big push towards getting their students into indie development fields, getting them into a position where they can just release their third-year projects as profitable games. They even pay for Steam fees, like to actually put the game on Steam. So to actually physically see this game not only doing well, or at least fairly well for a small indie game made by like 5 people, I guess I should talk a bit about the game. It's called Karate Crab. He plays this cool little crab guy. I've played it myself. It's very fun. If you enjoyed Celeste, which was an indie game that came out recently, I think you'll enjoy Karate Crab because it's a lot of side-scrolling adventure exploring, a lot of cool movement abilities, and it's about beating up sharks.
He just punched a shark.
Yes,
the shark.
I also like how they explain the kind of conventions of 2D scrolling, because as a crab he can only move in one way or the other way. He can't move in 3 dimensions. He's a crab, so that explains why he's always in the side-scrolling position. So that's just something. I think it's a really cool game. I played it myself. It's very fun, and yeah, I feel like just giving a shout out to Team Sapling, as they're calling themselves now. Nice. I know them as those dickheads who sit in the corner. But yeah, it's really cool to finally see, more indie team actually put a lot more effort into their indie production. Because you see a lot of indie games that hit Steam that were made by one guy in like 2 hours off of an asset store. You've seen a million Jim Sterling stories like that. Yeah. So it's nice to see, an actual small team trying to give better reputation to indie by actually putting a lot of good effort into making their product. So yeah, it's pretty cheap on Steam. Go check it out, people. It's worth.
Link down in the description below, obviously.
Yeah.
I like that. This game looks amazing. True art. The next Undertale.
I'm not gonna say okay. I don't think it's the next Undertale, but it's not a compared to some of the shit you see on Steam.
You are saying it's even better?
Yeah, no, okay. It's a really nice game, fairly priced. It's just a small indie game that if you like something along the lines of Celeste and that kind of 2D platforming, you'll get a good. I think it's about 2 hours long worth out of Karate Crab. It's fun.
Nice.
I guess the only other thing that I wish to plug, I guess Keyframe in the chat will be able to enlighten a bit more. Yesterday's D&D session, The Curse of Strahd. We took on something that we really weren't prepared for at all. Curse of Strahd is unique in the D&D verse because it's a sandbox kind of setting, meaning that the players can very much wander into a place that is very, very high level and get killed. And it got to the point where Josh gave us like millions of warnings last session with these birds that told us to run, just run, leave, get out of there. And because we're idiots, we didn't listen, and we, well, I won't spoil what happens, but it's a very entertaining watch. And let's just say that any wrong drop of the dice would have completely killed us all.
So I assume it's on Josh Scorch's channel?
It is. I put a link into the Skype.
Oh, there's a link in the Skype. Wait, let me click this link then.
So yeah, I'll always plug that. Next installment of Curse of Strahd.
Stop putting...
No, wrong picture. Get that off. Get that off right now. You put
I must have accidentally left this tab open. I don't know how this happened. But yeah, this... Okay, I guess for screen sharing, this is not as helpful, since not a lot of happening. But yeah, I put the link down below. This Curse of Strahd.
You know, just help plug some of my guys, some of the projects I take a part of.
Absolutely.
But yes, that's my media for the week. I just thought it was a cool little story that I saw this game up and coming on Steam. I was like, hang on, I recognize that. And then I walk in the next day and see them bug testing it. It's like, okay, this is it kind of, I guess, like with Emerald, when he sees, you know, these short films come out of Ireland and see that there is industry in the field that he wants to go towards, it just kind of re-inspires us in that we're doing it. We're not just sitting on our asses wasting money. This is going towards a career, you know?
You're not a consumer anymore. You're like working towards actually producing the stuff that people are going to be consumers of.
We're in the big boys play area now, kiddo.
Yeah, it's crazy. If I can if I make
some
moment, one thing that I learned from being on set with the third year from the college is that if the film is good enough that they make at the end, there's like a really kind of indie cinema in Ireland called the Lighthouse Theatre. And if the movie is good enough, they screen it in the Lighthouse, and people pay money to go and see it.
Nice.
So yeah, it's.
Do you have to constantly be walking around the lighthouse light? So you have to just be running around so you can watch the movie as it spins around the lighthouse.
Like, I can't see it. I can't see it.
Oh, you Irish people! Oop. Whoa! He just caught up.
Whoa! Oh my god!
It was amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I probably fucked up the way that it looked on the thing. Cause I just I tried to go as slowly as I could. I swear to you, and it just went like.
But it was amazing. Your video got frozen, and then it caught up.
Yeah, it was
beautiful,
crazy.
Beautiful.
It looked great.
So yeah, I guess my media will be a kind of self-plug as well. Yeah, because wait, who do I cover? Who looks more gross and needs to be covered up? Give me your gross-looking faces. This is both not very pleasant. I have a perfect solution.
Flip a coin. Yay! No, also, I played this kind of not cool game called Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, I played a lot of you. I saw you doing funny faces. Hey,
you chose wisely.
But I have to reveal somebody. I started. I say started. I just did it once. Also, I can see what you're doing there.
What? No, nothing.
Are you stripping in front of the camera?
No, I was getting fucking shit prepared in the background.
Ladies and gentlemen, British Ninja is currently taking off his shirt.
Yes.
Oh my, oh god, what he's doing. Emerald, what is he doing? Oh my, the British. No, think about the children. Oh boy.
Hey man, I'm thinking about what I can get away with.
I'm German, and even I am very, very grossed out by what I have to see there.
It's a blanket, you fool.
Oh, why? I did not need to say that.
To disappear. Anyways, so yesterday I did a little bit of a Let's Play stream. I mean, in recent history, most of the time when I didn't do gaming and ties, I played with myself in private or with friends. But nevertheless, I did not do any streaming. And I mean, originally this Twitch was for the streaming and everything. But so I started streaming yesterday, and I streamed on this very channel, so you can actually watch the VOD somewhere with videos is in the top corner, of Bioshock, the good old first game with remastered, whatever that means, except that there are achievements. And I have to say, this game got to scare me. Like, there have been moments I have played this game before years ago, but I could not recall there is this one moment when you get in a room, all the lights go out, and you hear the running and the whispering around you, and I'm like, god damn it! It was actually freaking me out as hell. It was also a little bit late, so even the safe, hacking the safes, you hack safe in this game, was actually quite stressful for me. So there was a lot of dampened screaming because it was late and I couldn't be too loud, but it was surprisingly fun. So I have to say, even after all those years, even after so many like infamous sequels like Infinite, the original still holds up well. I'm like, and but they are intentionally, so even that works out. But yeah, this basically was my medium. Check out my play VOD either here, or I intend to upload it on my Let's Play channel. Link in the description down below. What else? And yeah, I guess we move on to the next segment, which is what's happening over there.
I'm sorry, I just decided, I want to slip into something a little more comfortable.
Absolutely. Boy. So you finally took the human mask off and are showing us your real self.
It's his true form.
Yes.
This is what he actually looks like.
It's like a boss fight. You first you see a rather normal character, and once you defeated him in the first stage, he then reveals.
This is my second form.
Yes,
that's
obviously.
That's how I communicate with the day-to-day people. Yes.
I'm kind of.
When I bunked with this man at BronyCon, this is like all I saw in the hotel, like in the hotel room. It was just like, hey, everybody, I'll catch you later. Then just like as soon as they go into the room.
Hello there.
Hello, brother.
Yes. This was a direct option, really. As you can see, I decided to become pansexual.
Pansexual, yeah, it's a thing now.
This is my baby.
Oh God! Of all the English people that I could have chosen to become friends with, I am so glad I picked you. So glad. I don't regret my life choices at all. I hate my life.
Oh, we have fun here.
Lovely. Anyways, we got a few questions, I have to say.
Questions? I'm sure they do after seeing that. Right.
Absolutely. All right, go on, hit me. Don't actually hit me.
I mean, yeah, we actually have a question specifically towards you, Emerald.
Oh, hit me. Go on.
Like directed to you. So one of the many questions we once again, as always, get from Enigma Prince, who is really doing a genius job in keeping the questions coming. Emerald. So really you. What do you think? So you British are completely out of the question. I mean, I am out of the question because I literally don't know anything about it. So Emerald, what do you think about the Ruby V5 in general, favorite episode in that volume, and what do you expect the teammates and Quov to encounter in V6 and Atlas?
Overall, I did enjoy the season. I won't deny that there was a lot of points where I kind of thought to myself, all right, lads, you probably could have done that a little bit better, or maybe like added a bit more character to one or two small segments. But in general, I thought that it was a very decent season. I enjoyed watching it still. In terms of what they're going to come across in Atlas, I'm actually not sure. What?
Season 5 sucks.
Like everything sucks.
I miss Roman.
I have to like be rebellious against your opinion, so I'm going to trigger you right now by doing that.
You know, British. You know what I do, British? I replace you with season 5.
Hey!
Oh, that's awful. It's terrible. How dare you? Season 5, worse. It's so bad. I hate it.
Oh boy.
Yep.
So I have an entire podcast dedicating to being mad at it.
I saw it.
I have a feeling that either Enigma intentionally did not ask you to avoid that, or he asked the question in the first place just to piss you off. Either way, I'm very happy with Enigma right now.
I really hope that it was just to piss you off. But no, I liked it anyway. I thought it was fun. It was enjoyable. I think that there's a lot to be said for things that you can just sit down and enjoy. In terms of what they're going to come across in Atlas, I have no idea. I'd like to see, I don't know, Weiss do stuff, because she's the best character, obviously. So yeah, I don't know. I'll wait to see what happens. Is my answer to kind of all of that. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, so now a question for everybody, also by Enigma. What is one song that you can't or couldn't get out of your head, no matter what method you tried, and how did you forget it?
I don't think you remember
first.
how you forget something, because that defeats the point.
Yeah.
I also have the feeling that this is another mean-spirited question, because now we are all thinking about the one song that we had a hard time getting out of our head, and now it's back in the head. I mean, I guess I have one that is a fucking dumb German carnival song, which is like, and when I'm doing it right now. So every other German watching, suffer with me. So it's a really stupid song. You can, with very simple lyrics, you can sing easily when you're drunk. So the song is: Da hat das rote Pferd sich einfach umgekehrt und mit seinem Schwanz die Fliege abgewehrt. Die Fliege war nicht dumm und fliegt mit viel Brumm. Einmal um das rote Pferd herum. Da hat das rote, and it loops. It's a looping song.
Sounds like an absolute banger, old chap.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's great.
Yes. So it's a horror. So what other horrible songs that might people actually know have been stuck in your head for far too long?
Not really horrible, because like because like whatever song gets stuck in my head depends on the day. Like I don't know, today was "Feel It Still" by Portugal the Man, but like I like that song.
I just
so
wanted
it was
to
alright.
say, typical Emerald. He actually only listens to good music, and therefore all music that stuck in his head is high quality.
Well, I don't know. There's got to be one annoying song that I can think of.
I don't think it's an annoying song. One song that's been stuck rattling in my brain for a few days is "Stressed Out." Stressed Out. It's wish we could turn back time to the good old days.
Was my theme song
sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. I love that song. It's a good tune.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. I'll tell you an annoying song, because it's annoying. Not as in the song is annoying, but having it stuck in your head is annoying.
Sorry.
It's not that. It's Foster's pumped up kicks. You know, all the other kids with the pumped up kicks. They better run.
The happiest song.
Outrun my gun. Well, yeah. No. Here's the thing. The song isn't bad per se. It's a fine tune, but having that stuck in your head and humming it makes you look like a serial killer. It's not good. It's really awkward per se. Because I'll be
with you on that one.
I'll be walking. I'll be in a class just like, and then I'll have someone look over to me. It's like, is that the school shoot? Okay, I'm gonna sit over here now. Yeah, it's just.
I'm just gonna.
And it sucks because it's a really good song. Like the lyrics of it is really great as well. Like, oh god. But yeah, that's one song that is annoyingly good, and it gets stuck in my head, and that's problematic.
So, I guess now we go for the obligatory darker, deeper question Enigma throws our way every now and then.
Yes.
Oh boy. Was there ever a time there where you questioned what your life was going, or where your life was going, and what you were doing in general? What advice would you have for those who are facing a dilemma like this, thanks to recent times?
It was a juicy one. I like this one.
Oh yeah, he has the nice and casual ones, but he also has the
deep
dark
one you have to kind of think about for a few minutes.
Yeah.
I like deep questions.
I mean, let me drop it in the Skype chat so you people can read over it again. If this
Great,
helps.
yeah. Do you mind if I say my bit first?
Please.
Yeah, you can start. Yeah.
All right, cool, yeah. I, for the longest time, when I was from about like a really young kid to being, I guess, 13, I wanted to be a paleontologist. So there is a lead in for that, and that like I got into secondary school. And it's like, it's a really shit time, like when you go from that transition from your primary school to your secondary school, because like your body starts like kind of going through like the change. It's just like, you know, you're a kid and it's just like, oh, I'm happy because everything's great. And then all of a sudden, like life gets a lot more complicated. So I figured out very quickly in secondary school, like I didn't like maths and I didn't really like science, and I needed those two things to sort of go and do paleontology. So there was like kind of that was pretty bad. because like I wasn't really sure like what I was kind of doing with myself or like where I was kind of gonna go from there. And I don't know, I was a bit of a geek, surprise, in school. So I don't know, I couldn't really talk to a lot of people. But like strangely enough, kind of what led me to where I am now is one, I kept up doing martial arts outside of school, and that was like kind of a big way to sort of, because like a big standing point of martial arts is all about like, you know, feeling at one with yourself and kind of like coming to terms with the stuff that's going on in yourself and like kind of finding a bit of peace. As like so fucking like hippie as that sounds, it is actually kind of true, I think. So that was kind of one thing that helped me along there, and the other thing was actually joining the Brony fandom and like watching more like kind of like review related stuff, because that was kind of the point when I kind of realized, oh wait, hang on, I write stories already, and I like writing stories, and I like movies. I guess I'll go off and I'll make movies then. And that was like kind of the the gap from like between 13 to 16 is kind of when I was a bit like sort of like kind of in a very sort of negative headspace, not really knowing what I was doing or where I was going. And then like as soon as I hit 16, I kind of came to the realization of just like, I'm a geek and like I'm a bit weird. I don't know, who gives a shit? I just kind of like did my own thing, and I've been doing my own thing for like the last 3 years, and yeah, it's worked out okay now, and I'm much happier with myself than I was a lot like a couple of years back. So I guess it would be like, I don't know, you might not know what you want to do right now, but later down the line, I do think that there will come a point where you will figure it out, and if you work at it, and you know, like you have that sort of drive to sort of really go for it, you'll like feel a bit more fulfilled. In my view, anyway.
Yeah.
That was deep, Emerald. There you go. He won't appear again for like another week or so.
So, I go through this question every single damn day of my life because I was an idiot. Well, I say an idiot. I love doing it, but games design is a new industry. It is one that is very unstable. Like it takes. There are so little games design jobs out there, or at least it's not that so little, it's just that it's so highly competitive. Everyone wants to do it. So I learned from when so I guess I have to go back in time to a youngin' ninja. I am a gymnast, or at least a recreational gymnast. But when I was first learning it, I was like, I want to do this for like a living. I love doing it. It's fun, you know. I wanted to be a professional in that regard. And then I learned a few years down the line that gymnasts, at least professional gymnasts, are built from like age 8. Like it's quite scary. You go into a professional gymnastics center, they will have 8-year-olds who are shredded and have massive guns. And it's quite frankly terrifying knowing that this like barely under 10 years old could beat the shit out of you. Like, it is quite scary. But yeah, I found out that my dream that I wanted to do, I couldn't do it. Or at least it would be, I'd have to drop school. I'd have to do that. And it's just, dreams are important, but you need to have a sense of reality in order to accomplish those dreams. Like, if you have a far-off dream of becoming a games designer, for example, you need to break down that dream and figure out, okay, what do I need to do to get there? What courses do I need to take? What skills am I going to need? That's the kind of stuff that you need to take into mind when you consider what you want to do with your life. Like, personally, I'm under the, I mean, it's true for everyone. We only have a set amount of time on this bloody rock. We're all going to die eventually. And you only have so little time at school. So I don't know if this affects younger people. I'll say it to younger people. Your time at school now, when you are developing yourself, your skills and your abilities, this is when you should be self-reflecting on yourself to try and figure out, okay, what do I want to do? What am I going to do that's going to be fun, that engages me, that I find interesting? And that takes quite a long time. When I found out I couldn't do gymnastics, I looked around because I wasn't good at math. I wasn't smart. I am terrible at art. Even now, like I'm a games dev, I'm an animator, but I can't draw. Like I'm a terrible artist per se. But I looked at the stuff that I liked. I looked at my passions. I liked video games and I liked media. I liked creating, because around about that time is when I started making a YouTube channel and stuff like that. So part of me was like, okay, let's try and explore my options. Let's look in the digital media field. I was very lucky because this is where I can't give as good of advice here, because a lot of my opportunities came about by pure luck and not my own drive to find them. I went to this college, an open night, to have a look at this for their like media A-levels. Because I thought, okay, maybe I can get a job at media doing radio or something. I don't know. Maybe I'd enjoy that. But in the corner of my eye, I discovered that this college also does games design. And I was like, that's a thing? You can study games? What? And I've followed down that path ever since. And now I'm here at university studying games design and animation as a career. And as I said earlier, this university really pushes to get people into industry. So, yeah. I don't know really how to put it into words per se. If you are someone who is really struggling and is scared by what they want to do with their life, consult your teacher, consult your parents, because they've been through this shit. They've a lot of people, when they process inner turmoil and inner like questions about themselves, they always think, I'm so alone in this. Every human being goes through this. You are not alone, and they want to help you because they don't want to go through all the turmoil they went through, obviously. So talk to your family. Talk to your teachers about what you want to do. Talk to your friends. What do they want to do? Obviously, don't just go off on a whim of what your friends want to do, because that may be completely different. But, you know, it's about understanding what you're going to enjoy doing. Because I think back to the B movie of all things. Hear me. There's a point to this.
The first half hour of this movie is actually good.
Yeah.
But then it turns so bad.
The first bit of the B movie is where this guy's like, oh God, this one job is going to take up the rest of my life. And there's a certain truthness to that in life. You know, once you've picked your GCSEs and your A-levels and your university, you're kind of locked into one thing unless you go to like a trade school, which is very useful. If all else fails, I will say this. If you have no idea what to do and you're like, you have to choose to go to university or get a job somewhere, go to a trade school. They have incredibly useful skills that will never go out of style. You're talking your like plumbers, engineers, handymen. The world will always need trade skills. And having those skills is an incredible last option if you really can't think of anything.
That's what my dad did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
on the bright side, if you do go to something like a trade school eventually, there's no reason to say you can't go back and do what you want to do eventually.
Yeah.
You know, it's just harder, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of planning and a lot of certainty, really. Like when I came to the realization, okay, I'm studying games dev now, I've really got to go for it. There is no margin for error at university now. I either succeed in games design or I don't have anything. So that's where I've just got to be with my life now. So yeah, that's my excuse. Talk to people, reflect on what you like, and plan early and make decisions about what you want to do going forward.
I feel absolutely horrible that I let you talk before me because I have no way of topping this. I mean, I had my own experiences laid out in my head, and then you came and had those deep and meaningful advice, and I'm now like, oh boy, do I even have anything to add to this?
It's okay, top me. I'm easy enough to top.
Fair enough. Okay, I will just focus on being better than Emerald and being miserable and not knowing where to go. I am the most pathetic idiot in this show, and you guys will not take this away from me.
Yes.
Watch me.
No, I mean, first of all, during school, I didn't have my identity crisis or my orientation crisis during school time. I was just moving forward, blissfully, just being like a dog, just being there, being a good boy, and not thinking about anything in the world. Then graduation came, and I had no fucking clue.
Yeah,
I had so little of a clue that my mom basically came and was like, dude, here's a study and it's a local college. It's very prestigious. Do this. Okay. Running there. It kind of goes along the lines of what Ninja said, that don't do something you don't stand behind, because it was a kind of elite study. what I picked. And I was not standing behind it. I mean, yes, I had a certain talent for it with math and whatnot, and intellectually I probably was up to it, but not by motivation. And therefore I failed. I failed horribly. I fall through a few classes, so I changed specialization within the same studies, but failed those two. And it's someday when the third semester of my second approach started, and I just realized, like, hey, there was electronics basics 1, basics 2. Now I had the first lecture of basics 3 and I didn't understand a thing. And at this point I hadn't managed to actually pass basics 2. So you can still go to the next level, but well, if you haven't, quite literally, if you haven't passed the first one, you will simply not be ready for the third one. I went there and I sat there in this first, I believe, first or second week. It was very early on. I sat there in this electronic basics 3. I sat there. I was like, I don't understand anything. I'm behind as fuck. So I literally came home. Back in the day, I still had I had my own flat in my parents' house, so I still lived kind of under the same roof, even though I was kind of autark, autonomous, whatever, and. I really, my mom was at home for whatever reason. She had no appointments this afternoon, and I just came in and I was like, I can't continue this study anymore. I can't. It's pointless. I literally don't see any perspective. I mean, it was not in a crying way or anything. It was just like, I can't do this. It's beyond. It's over. It goes over my head. I literally can't grasp it. And surprisingly enough, because so far my parents have always been not pushy, but motivational and very much like do something with your life kind of way. And she was like, yeah, okay. She instantly was like, I don't know how miserable I must have looked, but she was instantly like, okay, then you don't continue it. Like, bam. Two thumbs up for my mom. She's pretty cool in that regard.
Golf claps
for mother ANY. So yeah, because the semester just had started, I from there started looking around. I took an entry test for, ironically, the studies that I later in my life would actually do, but I failed this as well. Boy, I was a loser back in the day. In my early 20s, I was a loser like barely anybody else. But yeah, due to a complete lack of orientation, I basically jumped on the next advice somebody gave me, namely my sister, who was a professional hotel clerk by study, even though she didn't practice it anymore, but she was like, as your by job, do this. Even if you don't want to continue this is 3 years, you have a perspective, you can you can continue orienting yourself, and you will get soft skills you can use for the rest of your life. Like being used to stress, because, oh yeah, professional hotel clerk is quite a stressful job. I mean, you learn people skills like always smiling, no matter how high the shit piles, and the customer's always right. So those are actually soft skills you never unlearn. They prepare you for other shit that comes down the line. But yeah, after that, I eventually found a study which I was actually interested in. It was a mixture. Here's the thing why I never was was happy with anything before. I'm too diverse. I'm very unfocused. I like a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then I found the perfect study for me, which is a little bit of media, a little bit of design, a little bit of economics, a little bit of informatics, a little bit of management. So it was a roundabout package. It was perfect for me, which was a very lucky thing. So I guess an advice going along with it would be keep your eyes open for chances, listen to people, because I only knew about this particular studies because a friend of mine was doing it or was trying to do it. That's why I knew about it, and then it sounded interesting, and eventually after I finished my apprenticeship I went there. And but yeah, I had before I came there, I had also this whole of I don't know where to go, I don't know what to do with my life, like quite literally. I just failed in my previous studies, which I never actively picked, so it was less a loss of perspective, but it was the loss of the one straw I had. Advice: keep going. Don't give up. Don't fall into a hole. And maybe that is the thing which I should have done, because instead of switching what did I call it before? Instead of switching the specialization within the same study, which was a stupid move. I spent 3 years in these studies, and I only regret the middle year. The first year was me trying it. The last year was me coming to the conclusion, this is not my thing, I need to reorient. But the year in the middle was stupid. This was like, oh well, the one specialization does not work out. Let's switch specializations and hope that now by a miracle I suddenly like it. This is the one advice I probably would give. If you realize you are not, if you realize the path you have taken is not the path you will be able to conclude to the end, be it due to being too old, like in Ninja's case. He was already too old to become a professional gymnastic, so he had the chance to maybe go all in, try to compete with people who did it 10 years longer than him, or keep it as a hobby and look for something else as your main course in life. And this was the conclusion that I spent 1 year too many. Once again, I'm fine with my first year trying it. I'm fine with my last year reorienting. But the year in the middle where I try to stick with the choice I made, I can only be like, guys, try to be more honest with yourself, even if it hurts.
Yeah.
Don't drag it out. Be like, okay, this is not the path that gets me to the end. I need to figure out what I actually want to do, or at least figure something out that I will be happy with for an extended period of time.
To add on to what you and Ninja have said there, you're only here for a brief sneeze of time. That there's fuck all point like spending it doing something that you hate, because you'll only just like be miserable while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Do you have any other cool questions?
I have probably a lighter one. Let's throw a lighter one in the turn. So, by Denim Ninja. Sorry, too many ninjas. By Denim Ninja.
Okay.
By Denim Ninja.
You just got your ninjas confused there.
Yeah, too many ninjas. Too many ninjas. I mean, both of you are stunningly sexy, and both of you are very athletic. So it's very natural that I confuse you. I mean, okay.
I mean, there's the important one, and then there's British.
Anyway, so British Ninja. Denim.
Yeah. Let me see.
Wait, what? Did you just kick him from the call? Are you fucking kidding me? You fucking idiot.
What did you just do?
Oh, it was A&Y, I swear.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm going.
It was A&Y. Would this face ever lie?
I love the pair of you dearly, but...
Could you switch on your camera again, please?
Why I put up with the two of you. I really don't.
I was just about to...
It was him!
I was just about to read a question.
I will PM you the thing that said A&Y kick him.
I was literally just going back from the keyboard because I said British Ninja instead of Denim Ninja again. So yeah,
what's
look the
VOD.
Look the fucking VOD. Okay, so Denim Ninja's question.
Denim Ninja has a question.
Which is interestingly enough... Oh no, that's actually... Oh, no, it's not a casual one. Okay, let's do a fun one in between and then we go to Ninja. Cool. Fun one by Death Alchemist. What is your favorite thing about the person to the left of you? I guess we go clockwise, so I say something favorite about Emerald. Emerald has now to say something favorite about British, and British has to say something favorite about me. And I guess we can play a second round and go the other direction.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Alright, so you're up.
Emerald. I guess the floof. I mean, the hair, dude, the hair. It's like, I only know one other person that can challenge your floof. This is Kichi, but Kichi doesn't count because she She is
I'm
black.
gonna tell you said that.
As a black person, she has a natural. No, it's a positive. It's a compliment. A racist, literally by definition, needs to be negative. No, but she has the black hair, so she has a natural floofness to her.
I've seen it.
But you manage to have it, even though you are such a white piece like me. So. I
really wish that like the next time that either I'm on one of these or I see you, I'll bring along. My dad has out in his office old passes for like gigs that he worked on, and there's photographs of him in his 20s with like curled mullet like all the way down to like the middle of his back, Van Halen hair. If I showed you that, I think you'd understand a lot about me.
Yeah, he's tame compared to his father.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely,
But
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like, he's got short hair now, but, like, you know.
But Emerald, you have to say something nice. What is a favorite thing? Or actually not nice, it just needs to be the favorite thing about British Ninja.
Alright, this is gonna be...
Hang on. Where can I record this? Hang on. I want to play it back every time I go to sleep.
There is this clip function on Twitch, so you can clip this part.
Yes.
I feel like...
You may proceed.
I feel like that we're in a movie and I should be like same as... So, British, my dear, dear, dear friend who I've known for 2 years.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, folks, whenever Emerald Comet says something, 9 times out of 10 he's being sincere. So, unfortunately, what I am going to say to British Ninja is going to be sincere, just to let you know.
Please, go on, gentlemen. I'm enjoying the show.
I'm sure you are. Drink your wine. Have a good time while you're watching me suffer over here. I find that... now, what can I say? You have a certain... You have a certain energy about you, which I find like is quite infectious. Being around you at BronyCon was a very just like cool, interesting experience because like you were always peppy, you were always like excited to be like around and kind of like soaking everything up and soaking up the atmosphere. And I respect that an awful lot in someone, and especially in a friend, because it was one of the main things that kind of like got me gravitating towards you in the first place. Because full disclosure, folks, I didn't trust British Ninja at all the first time that I met.
Oh yeah, the story of how me and Emerald Comet met in chat room, I suppose.
It's actually funny. I thought that he was so I thought that British Ninja was a plant by somebody else to like gather information on the room, and I was like, I got to keep my guard up around this guy. He's probably like going to be
a dick.
To, like,
and another one of FNGR's spy, I take it.
Yeah. That was my initial thought. I was like, don't trust a word that comes out of this guy's mouth. He's going to be like trying to press me for information. And one conversation with British Ninja, and I was just like, nah. Total geek. This is gonna be great. And that's the long and short of kind of my favorite thing about you.
I'm
you
touched.
have like
I just want to say you guys are the worst guests I ever had. I mean,
let's keep back on the show so we can get back to like fucking.
I do this shitty thing about you're floof, and he comes with something sincere
really
and deep and meaningful. Then before
what part of I can't? I'm usually sincere when I say things. It's a problem. I can't be a fucking wanker all the time.
But now I feel bad.
Don't. You're fine. Here, listen. He's gonna balance out the whole like dickhead talk in a second.
Do you want me to?
You can if you want.
Well, first of all, you have to say something. Your favorite thing about me.
Oh, my favorite
thing
about you.
Hang on. What did you say nice about me, Mr. A&Y?
Not yet. First, the original question was everybody's. What is your favorite thing about the person to your left?
So I now say something about you.
Yes.
And then we go the other way around because it's fun.
All right. So my favorite thing about A&Y, to suit Emerald's request of being a dick, you are a semi-average Lunara player, and because you play Lunara, the AI on the other side of the team does not get to play Lunara because they never do that. So you take Lunara off the playing field. That I am thankful for. So, in real talk, though, in light of recent situations that I won't delve too much into, it's not the place for it, but I was very confused about what to do. I was very lost and very angry, very emotional about the current situation that was playing out, and I had no idea what to do. And in that moment, I turned to my closest friends, like Emerald and like ANY. And ANY in particular, I know it sounds weird to say as a compliment, or at least it does for me, but you understand. Your lack of emotion, in a weird sense, your complete and utter logical brain that was able to sit us down, listen to our side of the story, and help us figure out what to do without any spite or malice. Just like, okay, here's what needs to be done. Here's the plan. Here's the organization. Here's the German efficiency. It was honestly what we needed. It was what a lot of us needed to help get over the initial rage of the situation. And without you, it would have been handled so much worse, I can say. So, yeah.
Thank you. Now I hate both of you because you both said sincere things and I came up with a fucking floof.
Hey man, you're pretty semi-average Lunara.
Yay! That's what I'm working with. That's what I'm taking with out of this. But yeah, I'm just glad I could help in this entire situation with my robot brain. But yeah, okay. Now other turnaround. British Ninja. Okay.
Go on.
As Keyframe, I cannot give sincere compliments. So I try. So no, but even though it is basically a joke thing about like, hey, we are basically like the same beard, this gingerness that
you're me from the future.
Yeah. I'm either your old version or your big brother or whatever. But
I'm okay with that.
I mean, mostly since BronyCon, I would say we got to know each other more. Before that, it was just one of the many people in all those groups. And yeah, I have people who have me in Skype groups and whatever know that I'm actually not a very talkative person, that I'm a little bit more reserved usually. But you are one of the people I have in recent history fun hanging out with. Same for you there, Mr. Comet. So give a little bit of an upgrade to the. Yeah, so ever since then I discovered in you two, for example, new people that are really just fun to hang out with, to chill, and so I'm glad having you here in the show, though.
Yeah, having us in the first place.
Indeed,
the most sincere thing you can say in honesty is that we're good replacements when you need us.
Keyframes are around. Like me.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure. At least Keyframe never kicked somebody from a call.
Yes!
ANY. Why would you do such thing, you rude man?
Shut up and say something nice about Emerald.
Do I have to?
Yes.
I fucking gave you a sincere compliment. You better come up with something nice.
I don't know how to put it in sincere words.
I'm waiting. We're patient.
I didn't really have a lot of friends as a kid. You know, the male autistic gymnastics guy who likes Yu-Gi-Oh cards and ponies. You don't get many people who are good friends with you in primary and secondary school. So I never really had that many friends. It's truth to be told. Especially not any real life friends who I could hang out with and just be cool. The Skype group, you know, I got a ton of friends through that. And it was weird meeting you in person for the first time. Someone on my level, someone I could just be completely normal with. Yeah. Because in public, I tend to be much more reserved and a lot more protective about myself and, you know, what I talk about. But on here, I'll talk about anything because, you know, I trust, you know, I'm just with equal-minded people. So you were one of the first true real-life like bros that I got to meet in person that I could talk on the level with and hang out with. Meeting you at ButtCon was fantastic, and just the mere plan of two idiots and a mom flying over to America, me for the first time, to go talk to another bunch of Americans, and that would have just been impossible if not for you. And I can't think of anyone else I would have roomed with or flown with, because it was a true delight, the whole scenario.
that is exactly the same thing for me, man. It was an absolute pleasure at Book meeting you for the first time, and also at.
I saw that in. Why you better delete that right now, or so.
No, everybody! I want you to make fan art. I want fan.
I do not approve.
Do it now.
I do not consent. Don't. No, my career, my dignity.
British Ninja, best game of the year. Thank you, everybody. I'd just like to say that everything's great. Who's hijacked the screen? I like to think that, like, when you make your speech for, like, when you make the game of the year, someone hijacks the screen behind you and posts fan art of you.
You can't make fan art of us because that would just be awkward.
Dum. But I still have questions, so we are not going into post-show yet.
Damn it, I thought I timed it right.
Nah, I still have some questions left. That's the reason.
Oh, alright.
You can do it in a second. Ow, I hit my hand.
I'm not giving up.
Also, Emerald still needs to say something nice about me. This is a little bit like this thing that recently went around on Twitter, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
the positivity shit.
Yeah, there's this purple thingy where, this pink thingy where it was like, say something positive about me. Like, wow, I've never seen so aggressive fishing for compliments in my entire life before. Just want to say. Actually, I had an idea to turn it into my own thing. Like,
take the opposite. Say something you hate about me, and then respond.
No, not that bad. I actually had the idea to turn it into what was it? Signal of positivity. I wanted to turn it into signal of productivity, and basically.
Hey,
turn it into give me constructive criticism about myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's still asking for feedback, but it's not direct fishing for compliments. Who wants to give a compliment can still work it in there, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I might still do that.
That sounds good, yeah. Do you still, after that and saying how, like, you don't like compliment fishing, do you still want me to say something positive about you?
Please go ahead. At the end of the day, honestly,
honestly, who doesn't like it? It is the accent, because, like, I have a no, really, I have there's a German guy in my film course. Every time he talks, I'm either like captured by his accent, or I'm just envisioning just like you standing next to him and just saying something funny. I kind of want like the two of you and Kefram to like come to Ireland at some stage, just so I can be like, hey, internet German friend, here's film German friend. You two hang out for a little while. Memes we can come
all Germans know each other, right? That's how it works.
No. All Irish people know each other. The country's tiny.
Which reminds me, which fun fact reminds me that just recently I got a PM on Twitter where somebody was like, hey, there is this Reddit about audio stuff, and we have too few male people with a German accent. How do you feel about just recording stuff, whatever, fictions, whatever, and posting it there?
Being up in the sky.
Pretty much. I besides the fact that I have not come around to do this, I like the idea of just recording some short fictions or whatever, probably not pony related, and
why not? You've got dulcet tones; it would work.
Oh my. But yeah, I have two more short questions.
Hello.
Oh my. So now the question by Denim Ninja. By the other ninja with boobs, because now both ninjas have boobs.
Yeah, you have to be a bit more specific with that one.
Yeah. Now I have a problem. I got.
You see what you're doing to me? You're killing me over here.
Okay, so Boob Ninja is back. Here, Boob Ninja.
Yes.
So Denim's question: if you could pick one of your past projects to make one and only one change to it, what would it be and why? Past projects, if you could change something about it, what would it be?
You see, I'm fairly cool with my projects.
I mean, it's a similar thing. I guess I can go first because I had more time to prepare because I read the question.
Are we talking specifically YouTube here?
I don't know. Projects. It's general projects. So if you don't have a YouTube project you feel about it like this, then no.
Yeah.
Then you can go with YouTube, but other stuff is obviously fine as well.
Acceptable.
I mean, for me personally, on the one hand, I would say that my previous channel, I mean, I have a lot of projects where I'm not proud about anymore, but at the end of the day, they were steps to getting me somewhere. Second channel was completely fueled by fanboying for Channel Awesome, but still, it got me into more professional YouTubing. And from there, just by chance, I started ANY Entertainment when I got into MLP, and this all led to getting to know all the people, continuing doing stuff, and eventually coming up with this podcast here due to people I got to learn through MLP, and to know through MLP, and maybe in general about my. Let's take ANY Entertainment as a project, and what I would have done better is not doing this horrible phase, and I believe it was 2014, where I did all those first impression vlogs. They really destroyed my channel, and they are shit. Like this weekly vlog, I tried it not just for MLP, but for Gravity Falls, Doctor Who a little bit. I believe there was Legend of Korra, where I just did a first impression vlog right after it aired because I wanted to have the pole position, and it was shit. It was lazy, it was bad quality, and not putting anything out would have been better for my channel than putting out this mediocre shit that nobody watched, and therefore I disappeared from people's YouTube algorithms because they did not watch the stuff I posted. This is something I would have done. I would have liked to do better, to boil it down to one thing, not produce those fucking first impression vlogs. Next one.
I guess I have two, so to speak. I don't know if I'm bending the rules there slightly. One's an out of YouTube, one's an in YouTube. Out of YouTube, I never got around to finishing my second year project that I did. When I started doing games dev, my final project that I did was this pretty cool and interesting game that I made in the Unreal Engine. And I never got around to finishing it because I was a bit slow. I was able to submit it, and it was a functional end product, and I got the good grades from it. But as far as when it comes to polishing it, and like, it was close to being publishable. And I've looked back at it now, and it's outdated. It's got a bunch of slight code wrong with it, and it's pretty unsalvageable in its current state. But if I had the hindsight to go back and say, hey, let's finish this while I had the chance, maybe make a few changes. Yeah, I could have finished that project and had something to at least show people, because it was on VR as well, which is pretty cool. As far as YouTube projects go, I wish I could go back and erase the Toon Critic collab I did, but that's own personal reasons, I suppose.
But yeah, I guess that's a very specific hindsight.
Yeah, that's a very specific kind of hindsight there.
Yeah.
Yeah, aside from that, see, the weird thing about me, I guess it's egotistical to say, I guess, but I don't think I've ever released a YouTube video that I wasn't upset with. Like, if I had a video or a script that I released or that I created, it would not see the light of day until I was certain I was happy with it. Like, when it came to my reviews and when it came to, like, my editing, I would never, like... for me, it made more sense to put the time in then rather than go back and make an edit later and re-render and fucking do it that. So yeah, a lot of my videos, or at least the highly edited ones, I can't think of anything I would change per se.
That's a very amazing thing to say, so kudos for that. Great. I mean, for my scripted videos, I would probably say the same. If only I would have stayed on script.
Yeah, what about you, Emerald? What do you
Any regrets?
I'll break the rules a little bit as well.
I have one I regret, actually. Never mind. I'll bring I'm gonna go find it, but I'll bring it back up in a second.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. We get to see British Ninja's failures, everybody.
Yeah, my amazing failures in life.
No, yeah, but I made a documentary for my first semester last year, and it was like it was like that first sort of initial kind of like realization of what goes into the whole process of making a film. Because full disclosure, I never really made like a professional thing before that. It was all YouTube stuff on the Emerald Comet side of things. So like I didn't. I shot enough for the film and managed to like get up a finished product, and I am happy with the way that it turned out. But I would like to go back, maybe do it again, but this time have more cover footage to use in the film itself. The one thing that I learned from working on that film, for anybody who wants to make a movie, is always shoot more than you think you need to. Even if you think that like you've got all the cutaway stuff and all like the extra things that you need, always do either like the one extra, because at least then you'll always have the one extra in the edit and not be fucking scrambling to look for it and being like, God damn it, we didn't shoot that thing. The whole thing's gonna look dreadful now. Because like there's like little edits in the film that like it cuts a little bit too quickly, and I'm thinking like if I had like a bit of footage to lay over that like it eliminates the whole problem. But yeah, there's that. Other than that, I did a review a long time ago for a story called A Nightly Guardian, and I didn't read it all the way through, and I did a review on it. And I'm kept awake at night by the fact that even though it wasn't even though I didn't like it, and after I went back and I read it, I still don't really like it. I would have liked to go back to 16-year-old Emerald, like quickly hit him across the back of the head and be like, listen, I know this sucks, but stick with it for God's sake. You're gonna like, you're gonna thank yourself in the long run if you stick with it, so that then you at least know what you're talking about when you criticize it fully. You know, so that's about the long and short of it. I kind of have the opposite thing to you, British, where like whenever I put out a script, I'm usually fairly happy with it, and it's only like after the video has come out, because I constantly try and one-up myself when it comes to all my content. I'll look at the last video and I'll be like, all right, what can I do better? And then when the next video comes out where I'm like, okay, I did that better, well, what can I do better now? I'll always look for a way to one-up myself and make whatever I produce next be better, so that I will be a better creator and an artist.
Something horrible is happening. I assume Ninja found his project he really hates.
Oh, here we go!
So, context.
This is a good start. Please continue.
So this is back in early 2013. I was, I think 12, maybe 13 years old.
Oh, no.
I really liked Minecraft, let me tell you.
Minecraft!
Yeah, Minecraft. I was a Minecraft boy.
And, I've seen it. It's actually in my playlist where people come from, isn't it? No, it's not. It's something else.
No. This is a YouTube video that I can't delete because it's on someone else's channel. Haha.
But
and it's this is back in the almighty Jeff days of British Ninja's YouTube life.
Oh, the Jeff thing actually comes from somewhere.
Yeah, no, this is where it comes from. My old username my mom used to tell me, don't use your real name on the internet. And I took that very literally, so I created a fake name. And that's where the whole Almighty Jeff thing comes from.
Okay, I guess I played with audio, or?
Part of me doesn't... Okay, it is awkward. It'd be a great outro.
But I still have one more question.
Okay, we'll save it then. We'll save it.
Okay, save it for the post-show.
That is 13-year-old Squeaky Ninja.
Oh,
that is
I need to save this.
Very much before my balls dropped. Oh my god, I sounded like a chipmunk.
British, real talk for a second.
What?
If I ever come to your wedding, or like some kind of mad event that ever happens, I'm just going to stand up and be like, I'm going to let this clip speak for itself about why I love my friend, and I'll just play it, and then I'll just sit down.
I got a shout out.
Oh god, is this really you? Oh my god.
Don't you fucking dare.
It is me. I was doing a Tekkit house tour.
The roof wasn't done, it was quarter of this size, but now that I've actually got the power hooked in and some of the machines going, I'll give you a much more better tour of Jeffco that we've got set up here.
Yeah, so we've just been basically changed all the chests. So, I think Rob might want to tell you about his mass fabricating machine, because like,
it was me and my mate. We really like Minecraft, didn't it?
Mark 3 at the moment. It's just a design that I've managed to draft up. It's just making me...
Okay, enough of British torture. Sadly, I don't have, because I'm too old, I don't have material of me on the internet. There is stuff before I hit puberty for me as well.
Brilliant.
I hate all of you.
We love you too.
But oh god, this was, I don't even know.
Hey man, I was a 13-year-old. Minecraft YouTube videos were the shit back then, man.
Nevertheless,
it's like those people from the 80s looking back at the 80s dance videos, and they're like, yeah, that was the thing, man.
Nevertheless, this was really.
That's Baby Ninja for you.
And it was very awkward.